Alright guys, good morning. We'll get started here in just a second. Just did a fresh install not too long ago of Windows 11 on a 10-year-old Gateway PC that seems to work pretty good, at least good enough for these live streams and whatnot. So we'll show you here my example of how to install what appears to be a fairly lightweight Windows 11 on a 10-year-old Gateway PC that originally had, I believe it was Windows 8. Yeah. And I'll show you what I did to get this thing running faster than some Linux-based systems. It may be hard to believe, but it's true. So if you have an old PC laying around and you don't care for Linux for whatever reason, and you need Windows, yeah, you can get it to work. All right. Let me get situated here with my cup of coffee. I love my Keurig machine. Okay, let me check here the stream. We're in the green, so it looks good. Once I'm done here, I'll go into the chat and see if anybody's here. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and say hello. And consider supporting the channel. These videos are made possible by you. Can't do it without you. So let's transition here for those of you watching. All right, OBS Studio, of course, does not come pre-installed in Windows, but it works fine. So this is my desktop here. I think what I'll do here is just, I recorded a short video, what I did. So let's go ahead and let me minimize this. Let me play this. Hopefully you can see this here in a second. Okay, so what I did here, after a fresh install, I did all the updates, of course. Go into my display settings. I did not go full HD on this, 1360 by 768. I dropped down the resolution just a notch to help speed things up, and it seems fine. Windows Update, I did do all the updates. After this, I did update the AMD graphics drivers. I don't know if there's that much of a difference, but the update was there. As far as privacy and security, I think I shut all of these off, or most of these off. Again, anything I could do to speed things up, to make this as lighter weight as possible. General speech, typing, personalization, privacy and security. I think I shut all of these off as far as I can remember. Location services, turned it off. As you can see here, all off, off, off. So, okay. Yeah, as far as that goes, pretty much off unless for some reason you need location services. If we go to all apps here, I installed Brave browser, one of my favorite browsers. I deleted the apps I really didn't need. I think one example was Spotify, Solitaire. I did install the Windows utility Wise Cleaner. You don't really need to install this. It just makes it convenient to remove. Here there's an option to remove useless files. Temporary file stuff that you don't need. So it does. Now you can use the built-in disk cleaner in Windows to do this, but this just makes it a little bit easier. Doesn't seem to affect performance that I've seen. So the Wise Cleaner, and this is not being sponsored by Wise Cleaner or anything, but it works fine, and it appears to be lightweight. It just seems to work. So I installed it. If we go to the Task Manager, we go to the Startup, and disabled pretty much all of these. Don't need OneDrive to start, or Microsoft Edge, or the phone link, and all that stuff. This particular computer, the motherboard maxes out at 8 gigs. Not a lot nowadays, but it certainly is sufficient to run Windows 11 and to live stream. Quad core, again, nothing fancy here. I think I bought this as a refurb at the time. It was a good price, and it seems to work pretty good. I do like the widgets. I did turn on the widgets there in the settings. yeah, get the quick weather report and stuff like that. And of course, once again, I did have to install Windows 11, or sorry, OBS Studio. I'll play this one more time here, but keep in mind that no matter what you install, whether it's a slimmed down Windows 11 or the lightest, fastest Linux, a 10-year-old outdated PC is still an outdated PC. It's not going to run as fast as going out and buy what's out there, Ryzen 9, 10, 11. I lost track. It's not going to be the same or the same performance, but I think something like this for me as something to hook up to my 50-inch TV as a backup PC, I think it's perfectly fine. One of these days I'll move up to the modern world and get an updated PC. I think my next investment would probably be another a chair. The one I have is starting to get a little bit crooked, desk chair. But yeah, the point I was getting at again, no matter what you install, an outdated PC is still going to be an outdated PC. Something like this, what I've noticed, it works fine, but trying to do video editing, and I did install Kdenlive, Windows version, a 3-minute render of an edited video took me I think between 6 and 9 minutes. That's obviously too slow and unacceptable in today's standards. It will do it. If I render in 720p, then it cuts the time, I believe, in half or less, which is okay. But if you have an outdated PC, just don't expect fast gaming performance or fast video rendering. There's just not enough squirrels, as it were, not enough horsepower to render the video in a fast mode. If I was to buy a new PC for video, I would like to render a 3-minute video in 1 minute or less. And if it can't do that, then I probably bought the wrong new PC, as it were. But in today's computers, that's what I would be looking for. Render a 3-minute video in 1 minute or something like that. Something, not having to wait all day for a video to render, and that's rendering in 1080p, as it were. But yeah, integrated graphics, again, nothing fancy here, just letting you guys know that you can install Windows 11 on an outdated computer. Your performance may vary, but after doing this, I would install as little as possible and delete as much as possible any software that you don't need, and that should help speed things up. So this is my example of a fresh Windows 11 install on a dinosaur PC, as it were, and it just works. So until it craps out altogether, I'll keep it. When the time has come to buy a new computer, I'll let you guys know. So I'm going to go into the chat here. Let me refresh this. Give me a second. Okay, let's see who popped in. Here we got Danks. He says, hello. Did not know Windows 11 existed. Is it any better than Windows? Yeah. Windows 11 is miles ahead better, lighter, faster than Windows 10. I've installed Windows 11 on three outdated computers, and performance is better than at least some Windows system or some Linux systems such as Ubuntu. So yes, it works. Hello, Yugi. Yeah, you were able to set up Windows 7 onto your... Okay, look, as long as you can get it to run safely and securely, I guess it's okay. But yeah, Windows 11 is what Windows 10 should have been. Keep in mind that if you are running Windows 10, you have one more year of updates, and then it's time to say bye-bye. You'll have to move on to Windows 11 or pay to get the Windows 10 security patches. which is why I deleted Windows 10. I didn't, with another year left or so, it's time to move on, as it were. So I did. Ooh, I just crunched one of my knees. I'm doing, as I do these morning podcasts, I try to squeeze in my morning stretches here on the carpet. You can't hear it, but as I shifted my knees, I heard crunch. It felt good though. Anyway, so that's what's up with an example of a clean install. Windows 11 on a definitely outdated computer. I don't know how many more videos are out there saying, you don't have to throw out your old PC because of Windows 11. It's just simply not true. Misinformation, and I've proven it 3 times. So if you don't care for Windows and you have a 10-year-old computer, you can try, my top 3 Linux choices to replace Windows 11 are, number 1 is a Chromebook. Minimum 10 years of free support, updates, you can't go wrong. From there, if you need something more customizable, you can try Linux Mint or Zorn. Keep in mind that if you are completely new to Linux, I don't recommend customizations. You might accidentally break something, as it were. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Internet Explorer is in the house. We have a representative from Microsoft, evidently. Hello. Millions of computers are going to be left behind when Win 10 stops security. Well, no, I know you came in late, but that's not true. You can update to Windows 11, as I've proven here, on a 10-year-old computer and keep it running. So that is not true, unless people don't want Windows 11 for whatever reason. But that is not true. Yeah. I've installed Windows 11 on a computer that had Windows 7, on a computer that had Windows 8, on a computer on my Dell that had Windows 10. I've installed Windows 11. It runs faster. It just runs better. Once again, don't expect the performance if you buy a new PC versus a 10-year-old computer. I don't care what you install, it's not the same. It's kind of like comparing a 4-cylinder Honda, to an 8-cylinder Corvette. It doesn't matter what kind of tune-ups you do, it's not the same performance. That being said, millions of computers do not necessarily have to be left behind. But Windows 10 stops getting secure. You can install Windows 11. I recommend a fresh, clean install. And you should be good to go, as I have proven here. So, Yugi, you had 2 Chromebooks. You turned one of them to a Linux Mint Mate machine. Okay, cool. Yeah, my 2 Chromebooks, Chrome OS is fine. Was fine. So it's hard to beat pure speed. It really is, and that's what Chromebooks are all about. Pure speed. Probably the best security out there in any machine. Multi-levels of security. I've yet to someone. I issued a challenge. Has anybody gotten ransomware on a Chromebook? No response. That's pretty freaking good. So, anyway. Now, I haven't tried gaming on this one. I don't really game anymore as much as I used to, but it appears YouTube is telling me that I have an excellent connection. I haven't seen any complaints from you guys, so it appears that Windows 11 streaming on an old PC appears to be excellent. All right, I'll stick around for a little bit longer as I continue to do my stretches. The stream starts. Is it buffering? Is the stream buffering on your end? On my side, it says excellent connection. So, yeah. And I believe Comcast just upgraded my speed for internet services. I do need to upgrade my modem router here to take full advantage. So they should upgrade as much as I pay. But yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that, Yugi. Windows 7, go to legacyupdate.net. It restores Windows updates for Windows 7 and allows Windows 7 machines to get updates and even in 2024. That's fine. I have no need for Windows 7 since Windows 11 works perfectly fine. So yeah. I'm looking at the stats under OBS Studio. You click View and then Stats. So it looks like OBS is buffering 1%. Not too bad. Again, that's just the CPU trying to keep up. So overall, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah. Okay. I can do that. If there is anybody who is new by chance happen to be watching this, please say hello. Don't be shy and let us know what you use. I do these live shows at random times to try to catch people, maybe like overseas who don't normally have a chance to say hello. Anyway, let me go back here to the live shot. Again, I had to install OBS Studio, as you see here. The Task Manager. Performance. So, yeah, this maxes out at 8 gigs. This is the, if you want to look it up, this is AMD A6 5200 APU with Radeon. Yeah, it's definitely outdated. So, but it's good enough. For a backup computer, it's good enough. It's an AMD Radeon HD 8400 R3 series here that I'm looking at. So, yeah, it's okay. Again, I dual boot this on 2 SSDs. The other one being Linux Mint, and really, the speed is about the same, at least on this computer. So performance on this is what I would expect. The fact that it's performing better than I expected running Windows 11. It does not feel bloated. It just works. So yeah. Again, my startup, pretty much everything is disabled, and yeah. You like to use Manjaro, okay. Arch-based systems is definitely not for me. Cersus says, is that a VM? No. We are live from Windows 11, and yeah, I was showing a video. No, you came a little bit late, but I was showing a video. Let me transition here. I can show it again, no big deal. So, okay, like I said, obviously OBS Studio is not installed by default. So let me do this, double click that. And no, we are live from a fresh install of Windows 11 on a 10-year-old Gateway PC. So just brief repeat here. No scaling. I dropped down the resolution to 1360, 768. Of course, the Windows updates. I did include the latest, or the latest AMD graphics drivers for this. Didn't notice any performance difference in terms of privacy and security settings and all that. I think I shut everything off. I just didn't need it. Anything to make this performance boost as much as possible. So all this is shut off. The only thing I left on was the widgets setting in the taskbar. So inking and typing personalization, shut off. Location services and all that, don't need it, shut off. Voice activation, all that, don't need it. Again, we're trying to make this as lightweight as possible and minimize the background processes. All apps, I deleted apps I didn't need, like Solitaire and others. I did install the Wise Cleaner. And of course I installed OBS Studio. You don't really need the this cleaner, WiseCare, it's called WiseCare 365. You don't really need this, it's just a matter of convenience. You can use the built-in disk cleanup utility to make this work, but free version works fine. You know, I've used this in the past, never had a problem, but again, installing this is just a matter of convenience, that's all it is. A little floating window there for the Wise Cleaner. Something like this, it's important to have as few as possible startup services as possible to speed up the performance of this, and delete what you're really not going to use. You do want to max out the RAM, which I did, which is 8 gigs. I then installed the AMD Radeon HD graphics drivers. Again, the Windows was telling me before I installed it that I had the best possible drivers, but I did it anyway. And is there a difference? Not that I've seen, but the point is it works. Again, I turned on the widgets, quick news, weather, and all that. By the way, the weather here in Ohio has been horrible. And that's my look at Windows 11. Fresh, clean install. Sir Seuss, hope all is well. Yeah, I wish it was better weather. It does not feel like spring. You know the saying, April snow showers brings May flowers? Boy. Yeah, this is a 10-year-old. I don't think this has the TPM2. I believe I did use the workaround for this. Yeah. You're without power from the last storm? Or no. Yep, I am in Ohio. I am Dean Martin country. Of course, his most famous song, everybody loves some windows sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Anyway. Yep, crappy weather, Ohio. Flooding. I guess Pittsburgh got nailed with floods. I saw people with kayaks on the news over by Dairy Queen. 3 days without power. Oh man, where is you, Sir Seuss? 3 days without power is no good. We have power, or as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, I need more power. We have power. Yes, we do. We just don't have the nice weather. The boondocks of Maine. Oh no, that's where you are. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, it's here in this section of town. Did not affect me that much. Like as long as I have my Keurig coffee, you know, thanks to supporters like you, I can refill it with my Keurig cups. I'm in good shape. Thank you to all of the contributors, donators, by the way. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah, we didn't lose power. If we had the power flicker, but not lost power. Yeah, here was a mixture of snow, sleet, rain. It's not sticking, but it was a mixture, and it just seems bizarre to get snow in April. You know, when the trees are start to bloom and all that. It's like a sci-fi movie. It's horrible, and it has an effect. There are mornings I don't want to get up. Stay in bed. It's cloudy. It's anyway. This is not a psychology channel, but just some morning rants. So at least Windows 11 is not affected by the weather. Ha ha. Let me go back to my OBS studio. Check the stats again. Yeah, 1 point. I'm checking where it says frames missed due to rendering lag, but not too bad. I can show you this. It's right here. So CPU usage 39%. The space available 79 gigs. Yeah, this is just a this was 120 gig SSD. So 1.4. Again, that's just the CPU trying to keep up. But overall, you know, it is trying to keep up, but not too bad. Not too bad. You know, it works. So if I reset it, let's see what happens. Not do anything. Let's see what frames would be missing due to rendering lag. All right, not too bad. Again, we're doing this, which is supposedly super heavy, useless Windows 11 on a 10-year-old computer, and it works fine. So we're good. Oh, thank you, Sir Seuss, for the $10 super chat. Yes, I will definitely get another coffee. Thank you so much. It seems pretty snappy. Yeah, you know, when Windows 11 was first announced, and of course we had the usual Windows don't like it, Windows haters, naysayers saying, you know, Windows 11 is about to be released. It's going to be bloated, heavy, and if you have an older PC, you need to switch to Linux because Windows 11 is going to make a lot of PCs outdated, useless. I'm like, well, My first thought, well, maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm not gonna. We can all speculate, but I'm not gonna post judgment till I try it. Again, I like to be fair for both Windows and Linux. So I thought, well, if that's true, that's horrible. So the first thing I did was to install Windows 11 on a computer on a dual core, not even a quad core, that had Windows 7, a Lenovo machine. And my first reaction was, dang, this runs faster than Ubuntu. I'm like, okay, this doesn't sound right, so maybe I just got lucky, right? So I did a second test on a different computer with Windows 11. Same result. It runs faster than some Linux systems, such as Ubuntu. So I'm thinking, okay, either I'm going goofy, I'm nuts, or all the haters are just not true. I did a third test of Windows 11 on another computer that's 10 years old, my Dell. Now, granted, that one's has a Core i7, still viable, and it runs faster than Ubuntu. So I'm like, do I really need to run more tests? If you do 1, 2, 3 tests with the same results, am I going to expect a different result on the fourth test? But then I should go see my psychologist, Dr. Al Bendova. The point I'm getting at, those statements that were stated before my test are not true. You can install Windows 11 on an outdated machine. Now, it's not recommended, obviously. I'm not saying you should. But if Windows 10 expires, and it will, why not give Windows 11 a shot? You can always go back to Linux, right? So that's what I've tried to do on this channel over the years. I've done and said things that are not necessarily popular. I've probably lost as many subscribers as I've gained, but I'm not gonna pander. I'm not gonna lie. It's not useful. It's not right. Anyway, that's my take on Windows 11 and, installing it on machines that had Windows 8, Windows 10, or whatever. I noticed I have Microsoft Clipchamp. I probably don't even need this. I could probably uninstall this. Do I need this? I haven't tried it, so to be fair, I'm going to keep it there for now. I don't know if I need Clipchamp. I did install Kdenlive. It works fine in Windows 11. It's slow, but that's not Kdenlive's fault. That's just the outdated processor. As I stated before, rendering a 3-minute video took like 6 to 9 minutes, which is too slow. But that's not Kdenlive's fault. But yeah. Anything else I can uninstall? Microsoft 365, that's probably just a trial. I probably don't need that. Anyway, that's where we're at. Alright, so you're still using Win 10 for some gaming. Okay, I believe Microsoft will tighten the reins on Windows 11 eventually. Maybe. I don't know. There's been talk that if you install the Windows 11 on an officially unsupported PC, they won't do the updates anymore. I would find that hard to believe, especially when Microsoft itself gave you the instructions for the workaround to install Windows 11. Yeah, anything's possible, but I would find that hard to believe. Especially now that Chromebooks are gaining ground. 10 years of free support from Google on a $200 machine Chromebook is not bad. And I think Microsoft knows there is competition out there. You're using OpenSUSE Leap and Mint, okay? Sir Sue says you never lost me. I get that people need Windows for certain tasks. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Honestly, the only thing Linux is truly superior is compared to Windows is the package managers, and that really only applies for developers. Well, the updates are certainly faster in Linux, especially doing a fresh install. You just can't beat that. Yeah, I will say that. And there are obviously, Linux is more customizable if you're into that. I'm not, but sure. But for gaming, it's hard to beat Windows. Just anything that involves multimedia. As a whole, it's gotten better in Linux. You're probably going to have less issues in Windows, especially gaming. For now, But Linux certainly has its place. During the pandemic, Chromebooks outsold Macs. That's quite an accomplishment when you think about it. It got me by surprise, although I vaguely remember making a prediction 6 years ago, that Google Chromebooks might one day become the de facto Linux machine for the masses, because they had the resources and the Chromebooks have proven reliable, and that came to be true. All right, Sir Seuss, my understanding is that installing Windows has gotten faster. Windows 11 itself is faster as far as installing. Has it gotten faster? I don't think so. It still takes a few hours. Well, again, I have an outdated machine, so if I did not have an outdated machine, I could probably do, instead of between all the reboots and everything, it took me a good almost 3 hours to do everything my way. Okay, deleting stuff I don't need, installing. Again, this is with a 10-year-old outdated CPU. If it was something new, did a fresh install, I could probably squeeze it all in an hour. So is it faster to install Windows? Maybe, but on an older machine, I would say no. Yeah, updates can be painful. Yeah, it's just you will have multiple reboots. That's all there is to it. In Linux, I believe it's one. In Linux, I think it's one reboot, something like that. Yeah, so. You would laugh so hard if Proton is the reason Windows dies for gamers. Well, yeah, I don't have experience with that, so I can't really say much. But how much space does the fresh take up? With everything that I did, approximately 30 gigs, something like that. Which, when you think about it, it's not too bad. I remember I was going to install one version of Linux. I forget what it was. During the install process, this is not a joke, it said make sure you have at least 60 gigs of space, hard drive. I'm like, Jesus, I'm going back to my lightweight Windows. I did not, what the hell was that? Obviously, I did not install it. Oh, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so that's how much space it takes. Yeah, I think about 30 gigs, maybe a little. Again, that's would be deleting stuff I don't need. The processor's a 10-year-old A6. I believe it's an AMD A6 processor, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Yeah, I remember buying this machine. It was fairly inexpensive. It was a refurbished, and I thought, well, I mean, at the time, 10 years ago. Actually, now it's 11 years ago. We're in 2024. Yeah, A6 with the AMD Graphics 8400. The last available updates for that, I think, was 2021, if I recall. Yeah, AMD Radeon HD 8400 series, AMD A6 processor, maxed out with. If you want to look it up, Michael, it's AMD A6-5200 APU. I'll just show you. Let me transition here. Yeah, so here it is, AMD A6 5200 APU, maxed out with 8 gigs of RAM. I did install the latest drivers available for this, for the video, for the graphics. And you can see here it's a base speed of 2.0 gigahertz quad core. It gets the job done. All right, go back to the chat here. Oh, Michael, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sir Seuss, of course. Man, I'm going to be loaded up on coffee today. I can get $20 worth of coffee today. I'll probably just buy some more Keurig cups for my coffee machine. Again, thank you so much. But what was I saying? Yeah, that's the processor. Nothing fancy. If I was going to buy a newer machine, I would probably let me do this here. Of course, I did have to install. There we go. Split screen there. Did have to install OBS Studio. But if I was to buy a newer machine today, I would probably go with Ryzen 7, something like that. Yeah, or yeah, something similar to that. Maybe NVIDIA graphics card. Yeah, that is like 3 cups at Starbucks. Yes. I like to buy the, speaking of Starbucks, I like to buy the vanilla bean, the iced. I believe it's iced. Man, it's delicious. It's pricey, but it's Sir Seuss's. Yeah, you'll be flying high, really. Yeah. On my next live stream, I'll be talking like it's great. It's great to have you. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, today's Windows 11. Same at Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't been to Dunkin' in a while. I like their donuts when they're fresh. But yeah. Look at the stats again. Frames missed 0.6%. Well, we're doing good. All things considered, you can see the frame lag is not bad. You know, I did drop down the resolution from full HD to 720 HD, but it's not bad. You know, again, this you have to keep in mind this is Windows 11, supposedly one of the most bloated systems in the world on a 10-year-old outdated computer, and we're still able to do this. I gotta give credit where credit is due to Microsoft. They pulled it off. You know me. I am an equal opportunity basher or a defender. Cannot bash Windows 11. It just works. So yeah. So there we have it. A specialty coffee now is over $5. I guess it is. Yeah, I usually when I get the coffee, like I said, I either get the cold drink, the vanilla bean, or just regular coffee with vanilla flavoring or something like that. You know, most of the time I'll see if Kroger's here, the grocery has a special on the Keurig coffee cups. But if I'm out, then yeah, I'll stop and get a coffee. Here we have a Tim Hortons. Sometimes I'll stop there and get a coffee. I believe Tim Hortons is based out of Canada, if I am not mistaken. Usually when I do these live streams, I'll make a large cup of Keurig coffee cup. A little bit of milk or some Italian creamer, which I'm currently out of. I'll have to buy some Italian creamer. But yes, one of the requirements for Windows 11 is you must have a cup of coffee to make Windows run faster. Haha. You like frozen mocha coffee or frozen hot chocolate? Frozen hot chocolate? I don't think I've tried that. Sometimes at Walmart I'll stop and get the in the freezer, in the fridge, the Starbucks mocha or vanilla there in the bottle. It's pretty good. I gotta admit, doing these morning stretches feels pretty good. Eventually I'm going to have to take care of this hernia I have on the left side of my belly here, but other than that, can't complain. Oh, you missed important. Believe there are only one or two locations left in Maine. Yeah, here we have one. It was still here for years. You know, I thought they may have been in trouble because here we have not one but two Dunkin' Donuts. One on the east side, one on the west side, and Tim Hortons is right in the middle. And I thought they wouldn't be able to make it, stay in business. They have. I think they cut their hours. But Tim Hortons has been able to continue to be in business in between two Dunkin' Donuts. I feel so bad. But yeah, it's still here. So. Michael, what latest computer toys have you bought? Have you bought anything new? I bought a refurbished ThinkPad. Windows 11 ready, and it runs great. After I installed it, I'll tell you guys something funny. I thought my eyes were going bad because after I installed it, did the updates, I adjusted the brightness, and there were times I would read and the brightness would go up by itself and then go down. I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. I just had my eyes checked. But then I realized there's a setting, a brightness setting in Windows 11 that I evidently inadvertently left it turned on that can self-adjust the brightness. I didn't know that, and it was driving me nuts. I'm like, what the hell? Just to let you guys know, on a laptop, if you install Windows 11, there's a setting that the brightness will self-adjust based on what you're reading. I don't like it, so I shut it off. I have one brightness setting. I like to leave it there, and I don't like this dim and high and dim. It's disturbing. So yeah, my eyes are okay. I do have a quick joke for you guys. What did the ladder say to the stool? Hey man, you're my stepbrother. But a bump bump. Psh. There you have it. The joke du jour. The joke of the day. We had the coffee du jour that I just drank. The joke du jour. All right, shall we stay on a few more minutes? You guys want to wrap it up? What do you want to do? Anything else to talk about? I can stay on for a little bit longer if you want to. Well, what was the other joke? What did the octopus say to his girlfriend on Valentine's Day? I want to hold your hand. Okay, Michael says, my current challenge is running Manjaro KDE. Manjaro is based off of Arch. I just avoid Arch. Yeah, just not to me. You're going to buy a Miniform MS-01. What is that? So, Seuss, you like the jokes? Yeah, a little bit of humor is good, right? There was a report out of Russia, a news title. This is the real news title. Are you ready? It said, a woman with the longest legs in the world opens up about her challenges. Just to be clear, I am not making fun of the woman. I'm making fun of the news title. Okay. Oh, it's a mini workstation. Got it. Yeah, Source said, yeah, I tried Manjaro, but the updates kept breaking it. Yeah, same thing with me. It was on my ThinkPad. So that was the end of Manjaro for me. I stopped distro hopping back in, oh, it's been a few years now, but I finally settled with pretty much Linux Mint and the Chromebooks. Yeah. If you want absolutely zero Linux bugs, virtually no chance of something breaking, app breaking or something, you want a Chromebook. It's that simple. If you buy a Chromebook and there's bugs in it, you need to return it. If you want zero bugs, go with the Chromebook. If you're a little bit more adventurous, then I would check out Linux Mints, the Zorins of the world. Those are pretty reliable too. But yeah, Manjaro broke on mine ThinkPad, so ThinkPads work pretty good. Michael, you have good taste. Mint is still your daily driver and your Chromebook. Well, there you go. That's pretty much me too. I don't care for the GNOME desktop unless it's Zorin. They've done a pretty good job modifying it with the proper extensions to make it user-friendly. But as a whole, not a fan of the GNOME desktop. You've been using Linux Mint for 2 years. No breakages. Nice. Yeah, I had to give up on Ubuntu. I would use Ubuntu, and I would have to customize it to make it more user friendly with the proper extensions. Even though the extensions would invariably break, I'm a patient man. But the last Ubuntu I tried ran some updates. I had no sound. So I did the usual things, check for updates, some terminal commands. Like I said, I tried to be fair and patient. Still no sound. Well, I did a fresh install of Ubuntu. Still no sound. I can't say what I want to say on this family-friendly show, but that was the end of Ubuntu. When you do a fresh install, twice, I think, and still no sound, that's a problem. It worked before, so I gave up on Ubuntu. And I think a lot of it has to do with that GNOME desktop environment. It's just, I don't know. I don't think it's just me, so yeah. Yeah, I've been using Linux Mint off and on really since, wow, 2008, 2009. Then from there I went to Zorin. You know what? And they're still around, so what does that tell you? Yeah, can't use straight Ubuntu either. Yeah, I thought the last Ubuntu with the Unity desktop was fantastic. I had it installed on 2 machines. That's how solid it was. But when they switched to GNOME desktop, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Anyway, I got a notification on my phone. Earthquake just hit parts of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Another earthquake? Oh, this is from yesterday. Okay, random earthquake from yesterday. Okay, all right. Anyway, yeah. Before the Ubuntu breakage, I had no problem taking the time to install Ubuntu and spending the time to what felt like installing it again the way that I want to. But once I had no sound, that was the end. So it's interesting that System 76, the USA Linux-based computer maker, apparently has gotten fed up with Ubuntu too. Will have their own desktop environments called Cosmic. We should probably see something like that in the next coming months. Yes, Ursu, yeah, Pop OS, very surprised how easy. Yeah, that's another one that's a customized version of GNOME like Zorin. They've done well with it. But I think they're going to eventually drop it once Cosmic comes out. There's just something wrong with an operating system where after you install it, you have to customize it to make it more user-friendly. It doesn't seem right. I'm just looking at some news here for Ubuntu. It looks like the latest Ubuntu beta has been delayed. Some issues. Security issues, okay. Some kind of Crypto wallet scams for the Ubuntu Snap store. All right, that's not good. And by the way, this Microsoft Edge browser, I kind of like it. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can install the Edge browser on Linux now if you want to. But yeah, I think it looks okay. Yeah, the biggest disappointment this year in terms of, well, Ubuntu, we thought they were going to have a beta release for their new immutable version, the immutable OS of Ubuntu, similar to what Chromebooks have been doing for years. That would have been very interesting to test. It's been delayed indefinitely. I guess it wasn't ready, so I guess I can appreciate that. But yeah, biggest disappointment. But I will not be testing the new Ubuntu. Let's see here. You didn't even have to install your HP multifunction printer software. First OS where you didn't have to do to get the scanner working. Nice. Yes, I did hear about the heist. There was actually a $30 million heist in LA. I guess somebody had to upgrade their computers. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Yeah, or in the Brinks. Yeah. Hey, Joey, did you hear what happened in the Brinks? What are you talking about, Brinks? I mean the Bronx. I'm sorry. I bought too much coffee today. My friends on YouTube gave me money for coffee. It's going through my head. I can't even spell. Hey. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Let's give this a 5-minute last call, and we'll wrap it up here. It's 10:25 approximately. It'll wrap it up this at 10:30. So start my day. You know, I think I mentioned this before, but I walk into my local Walmart and they have 8 different Chromebooks to choose from. Not bad. Not bad at all. Aha. You haven't had your coffee yet. Probably why I can't spell. I'm going to go with that. Yes, that sounds reasonable to me. I work with a guy at work, loves his coffee. He's not Italian, but he still loves his coffee. I'm like, Jason, why don't you just take an IV of coffee? Just be faster, you know? What happened at Walmart? No, the local Walmart here, and trust me, this is not a techie town. The last time I went in at Walmart, they have for sale, back in their TV department, 8 different Chromebook models to choose from in a non-techie town. That's when you know Linux has come a long way. 8, I counted 8, maybe more, but I think there was 8 different models of starting at about $200 and up. Now, I'm sure if I asked one of the Walmart employees, what can you tell me about a Chromebook, maybe their response would be, blah, 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 blah. Not a problem. But yeah, Sir Seuss, 8 different Chromebook models to choose from at a local Walmart. Not bad. Now, I don't know how many they're selling, but yeah. Yep, 8 of them. Surprised, I was. Yeah, but that's okay. It's good to have choices. Don't know if we need 8 of them, but you know, most people, if I had to guess, are probably going to do their own research. Maybe watch like videos like this or whatever, something on YouTube. You know, and they're probably going to go with, you know, something inexpensive to get started. We probably don't need 8 different models, but I mean, for me, it's fine. If I was looking to buy one, I would look for the Chromebook Plus models. But yeah, it's nice to have the choice. All right, is there anything else before we wrap this up? Is there anybody who joined in late, who is new, who hasn't got a chance to say hello here? We're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. Yeah, I think generally speaking, the selection of computers, Walmart's somewhat limited. I think they have plenty of laptops. Again, I don't, you know, Walmart's not a computer store. Yeah, I don't go shopping there for a computer. I usually it's online on Amazon or something like that. Yeah, maybe a few desktops. I think I saw like an all-in-one or something like that. But personally, I would not go shopping there for a desktop. No. I wish we had a what is it? Computer Center, Micro Center store, something like that. The closest one is like 2.5 hours away. So I wish we had that closer. Now, I would shop there, but Walmart for me for a computer, no. For a Chromebook, maybe I would shop there, you know, but not for a desktop. Best Buy you bought? Yeah, Best Buy's about 30 minutes from here. Maybe I would shop there. All right. Any final comments, Sir Seuss, Michael, whoever else is left in the chat before we wrap this up? So this is my take on my example of Windows 11. A clean install of Windows 11 on a 10-year-old, well now 11-year-old Gateway PC, maxed out with 8 gigs of RAM. 120 gig SSD, and limited amount of apps installed. Your hometown doesn't even have its own post office, really? That is kind of odd. Yeah. I get it not having a computer store, but not even a post office. Wow. So where is the closest post office? 5 miles to the closest. I guess that's not too bad. Of course, I can't think of the last time I had to go to the post office. Come to think of it. Yeah, Amazon installed. They built a distribution center not too far from here. Of course, now they got their own trucks. So, and they deliver on Sundays, which is nice. All right, I think we'll wrap this up for this morning. Don't think I have anything new to say about Windows 11. So if those of you who watch this later, sorry that I missed you. But again, if you have a PC laying around that you think may not be good enough for Windows 11, you can install it for free. Give it a shot and see what happens. So far, on 3 computers that are at least 10 years old, it seems to be okay. So I'm surprisingly happy with fairly lightweight Windows 11. It just works. Anyway, thank you, Sir Seuss. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Sir Seuss, for the contribution. Thank you, Michael, as always. Yes, I will definitely get refill of coffee. All right, that's all I have for this one. Be safe out there, stay warm, and I'll catch you on the next one. Arrivederci.